Hi folks, I'm Matt and welcome to My Expanded Universe, a show where I go through the entire EU in chronological order as best I know how. Folks, we are talking about Young Jedi Knights still, and we are now on book 11. And this is the final book in the second story arc from this series on the Diversity Alliance. And this one is called The Emperor's Plague. And so how it starts off is that the Diversity Alliance finally discovers the true location of where the storehouse is. And so they're going there to take that plague and they're going to release it to the world. Now, meanwhile, everyone, and I mean everyone, the twins, Lobaka, Raynar, Tenoka, Zek, the IG-88 robot, have all gone and they're trying to beat the Diversity Alliance there so they can destroy the warehouse and, get rid of the plague completely. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last book. It turns out that Raynar Thol's dad was just in hiding. He kidnapped himself, just like his uncle did, because he was afraid the Diversity Alliance was going to get to him first, so he just made himself disappear and went underground. Didn't tell anyone for their safety. And we find out that he's alive. He's been well this whole time. It's just that he's been hiding this secret. Well, now the secret is out, and everyone's rushing to the storehouse to either get that plague and release it on the world, or what the kids are doing, trying to destroy the plague. Now, this is, of course, the big finale where all the big baddies of the Diversity Alliance are taken care of. Raba and Lobaka have their showdown. Very similar to kind of how Tenoka and Tamith Kai did in Book 6. They have their big showdown there. And then, meanwhile, the Rebel Alliance shows up because they're like, yeah, you know what? The New Republic, excuse me. At this point, it is the New Republic. But the New Republic shows up to take on the Diversity Alliance. There's this big space battle. And the Diversity Alliance is destroyed. They're defeated. It's a happy ending here. We've tied up our successful secondary arc. So what did I think about this second arc in the Young Jedi Knights series? I liked it. I really did. I haven't even spoken about all the great art by Dave Dorman. You've been seeing each cover, and I think the covers are just unbelievable. They're just beautiful. Great choice, just going for Dave Dorman for every cover. It's just wonderful to see these covers. But other than that, the story is pretty solid. I really did enjoy this next story arc. Like I said, I like that they got away from the Dark Jedi and they decided to do something different. Now, if you say, well, Matt, which one of these two do you think is better? Well, I'm going to say the first one because it has Dark Jedi, and I love seeing Dark Jedi. I can't help it. Okay, that's just who I am. But other than that, I do applaud them making bold decisions. You're thinking, is it really that bold, Matt? Yeah, this is in the late 90s still, and to be honest, you didn't have to switch up the storyline. You could just keep harping on the same. It could always be young Dark Jedi versus maybe another one of Luke's old students who fell to the dark side. He takes the reins of the Shadow Academy and leads them back in a charge against Luke. I mean, the writers easily could have fallen into that trap where they're just telling the same storyline. Like, the bad guy's always the Empire, right? As you were seeing through the Bantam era, even though I didn't really mind that. But you know what I'm saying? It's nice when you go a different path. And Rebecca Moesta and Kevin J. Anderson, when they got this, deal to do a few more books, they thought, okay, well, let's do something different. And so this is what they thought. They added a bunch of bounty hunters in there to give you that excitement so you can see all your bounty hunters back. That it was Boba Fett's daughter the whole time doesn't bother me, but then again, it didn't bother me that it was Boba Fett, even though he does do some things and he talks too much too. I remember that was another complaint. Boba Fett talks way too much. I didn't feel that way when I read it, but I saw that complaint online that he talks way too much for Boba Fett doesn't talk that much. Okay, whatever. It's his daughter now, okay? It's already been retconned. And in fact, that's a fine retcon. I don't mind at all because we never see the Slave 4 ever again. So it's obvious that was just a made up, and that it looks just like the Slave 1 is kind of a cheap knockoff, right? So it looks like, his daughter just got a hold of a ship that looked like her dad's and said, okay, I'll name it the Slave 4 because I don't know where dad's ships are. Obviously, there's a Slave 3. I really want to know what that Slave 3 looks like. But other than that, it is a fantastic series, this next 5-book series. If you enjoyed the first 6, you'll enjoy this 5. You'll enjoy the whole series, to be honest. But there is actually a 3-book story arc that we have yet to talk about. And I'm going to review those starting in the next video. See you then.